Welcome to a deep dive into one of the most volatile geopolitical regions on Earth. The 110-mile-wide Taiwan Strait is more than just a body of water. It is the center of a high-stakes tug-of-war between the world's two largest superpowers. For decades, the status of Taiwan has been a delicate balancing act of diplomacy, trade, and military posturing. But as rhetoric heats up and military drills become more frequent, the question remains, are we witnessing the prelude to a global conflict? Today, we analyze the history, the technology, and the strategic importance of Taiwan to understand why this small island is the ultimate global flashpoint. To understand today, we must look back to 1949. Following the Chinese Civil War, the nationalist Kuomintang forces led by Chiang Kai-shek retreated to Taiwan as Mao Zedong's Communist Party took control of the mainland. Since then, the People's Republic of China has viewed Taiwan as a breakaway province that must eventually be reunited with the mainland. Taiwan, meanwhile, has evolved from a military dictatorship into a flourishing, self-governing democracy. This fundamental disagreement over sovereignty and identity forms the bedrock of the current tension, with neither side willing to back down on their core claims. Beyond ideology, there is a massive economic reason why Taiwan is indispensable: semiconductors. Taiwan is home to TSMC, the world's most advanced chipmaker. This single company produces over 90% of the world's most sophisticated semiconductors, which power everything from your smartphone to advanced fighter jets and artificial intelligence. This is often called the Silicon Shield, the idea that Taiwan is so vital to the global economy that a conflict would result in a total collapse of modern technology. Both the US and China are racing to secure these supply chains, making the island a critical hub for the 21st century tech race. The United States maintains a complex policy known as strategic ambiguity. Under the 1979 Taiwan Relations Act, the US is committed to providing Taiwan with the means to defend itself, but it does not explicitly state whether it would intervene militarily if China invaded. This policy is designed to deter China from attacking, while also discouraging Taiwan from formally declaring independence, which Beijing has stated would be a red line for war. This delicate diplomatic dance has kept the peace for over 40 years, but many wonder if the policy is still viable in an era of growing military assertiveness. The military balance in the region has shifted dramatically. The People's Liberation Army has undergone a massive modernization program, developing carrier-killer missiles and stealth fighters specifically designed to deny the US Navy access to the region. In response, Taiwan is adopting a porcupine strategy, focusing on mobile, asymmetric weapons like sea mines and portable anti-tank missiles to make an invasion prohibitively costly. The increase in air defense identification zone incursions by Chinese aircraft has become a near-daily occurrence, testing Taiwan's defenses and narrowing the window for response. A conflict in the Taiwan Strait wouldn't just be a local war, it would be a global economic earthquake. Nearly 50% of the world's container ships pass through this narrow waterway. A blockade or full-scale conflict would freeze global trade, causing inflation to skyrocket and supply chains to snap. The South China Sea, which borders Taiwan, is also a critical artery for energy shipments to Japan and South Korea.
Internal politics in Taiwan play a massive role in the tension. While the older generation may still feel cultural ties to the mainland, younger Taiwanese increasingly identify as Taiwanese rather than Chinese. Taiwan's vibrant democracy, with its free press and LGBTQ+ rights, stands in stark contrast to the political system in Beijing. This divergence in values makes the prospect of a one-country, two-systems model, similar to what was promised to Hong Kong, unpopular across most of Taiwan's political spectrum. The desire to maintain their democratic way of life is the primary driver of Taiwan's resistance to reunification.
War doesn't always look like an invasion. China has increasingly utilized gray zone tactics, actions that fall just below the threshold of armed conflict. This includes massive cyber attacks on Taiwan's infrastructure, disinformation campaigns to polarize the public, and economic coercion, such as banning imports of Taiwanese fruit or fish. By exhausting Taiwan's military through constant alerts and pressuring its economy, Beijing aims to achieve its goals without firing a single shot. Understanding these non-military pressures is key to seeing the full picture of the pressure cooker environment on the island. Taiwan is no longer just a regional issue. It has become a litmus test for the liberal international order. Allies like Japan and Australia have become increasingly vocal, stating that a crisis in Taiwan would be an existential threat to their own security. Recent visits by high-ranking U.S. officials and European delegations have emboldened Taiwan but infuriated Beijing. As nations look to diversify their tech supply chains, they are also deepening their unofficial ties with Taipei. This growing internationalization of the issue makes it harder for China to claim that Taiwan is purely an internal matter.
The situation between China and Taiwan remains the world's most complex geopolitical puzzle. While the risks of conflict are higher than they've been in decades, the costs remain astronomical for everyone involved. Diplomacy, deterrence, and the Silicon Shield have held the line so far. As we move forward, the world will be watching the Taiwan Strait closely. Will it remain a conduit for global trade, or will it become the spark for a 21st century global conflict? Thank you for joining us for this analysis. Stay informed, stay objective, and we'll see you in the next deep dive.